What up, everybody? Welcome back to the San Pluto Show. We are back for a special edition. We will call this like a special edition show. So we got some really dope guests in here tonight. We got some people that's never been on. Some people have. So we're gonna be calling this San Pluto Island number 1, right? This is like the first iteration of this big idea that I have, where I got like a crap load of people, and we're gonna get down to the final 4. The final 4 is gonna be I guess the people who've made it through all the editions of San Pluto Island. So we're just gonna have a thought-provoking conversation today. It's gonna have a couple of subject matters that we're gonna discuss in regards to classic relationship debates, right? So now the conversation doesn't have to get crazy, but if it does, it's cool. I'm gonna be just moderating it, just to make sure we stay a course. We're gonna start off with some icebreaker questions to kind of just let the audience know who is what the guests that we have on, some of their ideologies and things of that nature. But you know what? I was gonna have y'all introduce yourself. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So to my left, I mean, we get straight into it because I want to get to the topics, right? So we have Melanie. Everybody make some noise for Melanie in the building. Woo! All right, and also to my left we have Barbie. Make some noise for
Barbie.
Yeah. All right. Then we have Joaquin right here.
Joaquin.
Make some noise for Joaquin.
What's up? Everybody move.
Dino in the building.
Dino, yeah.
All right, cool. So, with that being said, now, does anybody want to just kind of introduce themselves and tell them something unique about themselves around the horn? Let's start with Dino.
All right. My name is Dino.
Yep.
I am one half of San Pluto. Music producer, videographer, graphics design. I'm Jamaican.
Nice.
What else?
Social justice advocate. I'm indigenous. I'm Mexica, Cherokee. I mean, not Cherokee. I'm Mexica, Kickapoo, and Comanche. I have been abducted by a UFO.
That's unique.
That is very unique. I can't wait to hear that.
Has anybody seen Nope?
Yeah.
No, but I want to watch it.
All right, I'm not gonna say anything about it, but yeah, check it out. That's very unique. Barbie.
Hi, I'm Barbie. Something unique about me. I'm a mom. I'm a girl mom, and I'm in the legal field. And
Make some noise for
Legal field.
Just say, yeah, make some noise.
Yes.
Okay. Melanie.
Okay, I'm Melanie. I'm a mom of 2. I'm her baby's godmother. I'm in the nursing field. I'm a nurse. I graduate in December.
Make some noise. Congratulations.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Not for real, because I know it's wild out here.
It's hard.
It's been wild for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And beyond. So thank you for everything that y'all do. All right, so like I said, welcome to the San Pluto Show. We are a VodPod Media, exclusively streaming. Definitely like and subscribe VodPod Media on YouTube and Facebook, because basically what we're trying to create is a network of really dope shit where content is streaming every single day. All right, so make sure to do that. You know, we're not trying to be the first to do something, but we're trying to be the first to do some dope shit in the city of San Antonio regarding online media
Word.
and content. So
Word.
definitely do that. So let's begin. Let's start off with the icebreaker. Just to kind of let people know who we have here, right? Just
All right.
kind of break the ice, all right? So I think, what would y'all prefer? Everybody answer the question, or everybody gets one icebreaker for them to answer, and then we go to the next person, they get a new one? What would y'all prefer?
I say everybody get each one.
Separate.
each one gets their own icebreaker.
So
Yeah.
one. All right. So, all right. Who has the most charge on their phone right now?
So mine was about to die.
Okay, yours about
Gotta be me.
17.
52.
65.
Oh.
Dino's first. All right, Dino, your icebreaker question before we get into the relationship discussions for today. Again, by the way, guys, the San Pluto Show is a variety show, so we do everything. We do this, we do that, we do this and more, all right? So you never know what you're going to get. So I don't make flyers. I just go live and do that. All right, here we go. So the question is, the icebreaker question, Dino, is, what's your favorite holiday? I know we on the fly right now. Also, if y'all want to come back around or y'all think that's fine too. We're just kind of. But what's your favorite holiday?
Honestly, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, we're not clapping for you? Sorry. Sorry.
So Thanksgiving, like, are we saying like fuck Christopher Columbus or like are we like?
Not really. It's more. Some of my best memories come from Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's nothing political, nothing behind the holiday itself. But some of the best memories may have come from just spending
Everybody together.
Yeah, most of the family I always fly through Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanksgiving.
Make
some noise.
Make some. I make some noise for that accent. I didn't heard it until you spoke now. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So, I think Joaquin's next.
Yeah.
All right. So your icebreaker question is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat. That's the question. Which one do you prefer? I assume.
Oh, man, I got a whack question. All right. Instagram.
Hold on. You want to go another one?
No, we can do that. Let's just go with it. Instagram.
Why? Why Insta?
I think Instagram because I am of the generation that is right after Facebook and right before, I guess Twitch or even TikTok. I think TikTok is definitely more enticing for younger folks, and I'm having a hard time learning it, whatever. But I also get the most likes and most views on Facebook whenever I do anything or release anything. But I find stuff more interesting on Instagram.
For sure. I'm gonna tell you what. TikTok is. Have y'all ever just kind of was chilling one day and you went on the lives on TikTok?
Like I've seen them.
Yes, it's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite things to do at night, for sure.
What's like why would I'll be up in that?
It's like it's mindless TV. It's like
Mindless, and you be like, well, this person don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like they be talking crazy on that, but a lot of it is like a semi-grift where they just kind of talking about what's hot, but they may not know anything in that subject.
Well, there's this one that I watch. It's just this dude who has like a pompadour like mine, but a little higher, and he's like this young guy, and he's just like singing oldies, and he's just like listening to oldies, and I don't like it, but I can't get my eyes off of it.
Damn, that's when whatever he's doing is like winning. That's whatever it is, the marketing aspect to it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like something that reminds you, right?
But yeah, I mean, I'm a oldies soul musician singer, and so like I like a lot of the music, but that was one of the things that first got me into watching it. But then I'm just like, it's just trash, and then I'm still like,
But still watching.
yeah.
All right, well, dope. Insta, I like Insta too. Okay. Let's go Barbie. All right. So your question is, what is the best ice cream flavor?
Oh my god, the best ice cream flavor is definitely half baked.
What is?
Y'all have never heard of half
What that-
baked?
Is it like with half cake batter? Or?
Yes, cake like cookie dough,
Okay.
chocolate, like all different types in there.
Okay, so it's a whole bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Definitely.
So basically, like a cake or a cookie that's not finished but mixed with ice cream.
Yeah, like cookie dough, like chocolate chip. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
do
just
too.
all-
That sounds like some
So-
Ben and Jerry's type shit.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah.
I was just like half baked.
Okay.
I thought maybe it had.
Sponsored by
I,
Ben and Jerry's.
We need a deal with Ben.
I thought maybe it had cannabis in it or something.
No.
Oh, okay.
Half
No.
baked. Hey.
That'd be a good one though, right?
For
Yeah.
ice cream, absolutely.
I'm definitely want to get more into like infused stuff, food with infused.
Infuse your body with cannabis.
Yeah, like butter, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, if you cook something, with butter. Start with butter, basic shit.
But
Start with butter.
Fucking crazy.
They have cannabis butter makers. You could just throw cannabis in there. You throw I think it's like whatever. I don't know if it's whatever butter is, the oil, I guess, right? And you just throw it in and it does it on its own. It churns the butter on its own, and it makes the kind of butter on its own.
I'm gonna become an affiliate of that and just be like, go into a break, but make sure you get our churner. I'm gonna see if I can find that just so I can affiliate and sell it on the show. All right, cool, nice. Half baked ice cream. Definitely want to check that out. All right, Melody, we have coffee black or with
That was her
cream.
question.
I wish that was my question.
100% black.
Yes.
Just straight. Like, wait a minute now. Just straight.
Yes.
No,
Because
no.
I feel like I have, like, my tolerance is so high that if I add sugar, cream, it just doesn't taste like coffee. So now I'm at the point where it has to be black so I can actually
A little cold
feel
brew.
it.
Do you like espresso?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love espresso.
Mhm.
Yes.
Man, that's tough. That's
It's
tough.
good.
Like,
Just straight.
yeah, I gotta have something in it, but that's dope though. So you be ready to go. So
Mhm.
wait a minute, coffee really isn't like for energy. It's, wait. What do they say about coffee? Is it for or
It's supposed to, but
I always
after
hear-
a while, like if you drink it every day,
right?
it
That's what I
starts,
mean.
you know.
Tolerance.
Yeah, that you
You just don't even feel it anymore.
Yeah.
You just drink
you have
it
to stop
drink
for
it.
a while and
Okay.
then build that again.
Tolerance
And
for
then,
it,
yeah.
Oh.
Shouts out to Black Coffee. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? All right. So that was Icebreaker Gala. Should we go another round or should we get straight to the subject matter of the night? All right, cool. I can tell Galen set something up. So we're gonna go back this array around. Again, the audience gonna know who they dealing with
All right.
when we get done with these icebreaker
I know.
questions. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go Melly again around. All right,
All right.
and then make sure y'all tune in, comment on this conversation because we about to have fun with this conversation. I promise. All right, well let us get through this icebreaker stuff first. Here we go. If you could have any animal as a pet, which would you choose? Any animal, like
Any animal.
native or not to this, you know?
I really love like lions, but
Oh,
obviously
shit.
they're so like you could never.
Okay.
But I'm just so intrigued by them. I don't know.
What if there's a
Big,
miniature
or big
lion?
ass dogs, like
What if there's a miniature lion, like you know they got the miniature
I'm
donkeys?
sure they're still kind of dangerous.
But it never gets big, like, oh look, yeah, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Like a teacup lion.
Like a
Teacup lion.
That would be-
a lion.
If not, because it's not dangerous, then I like those big ass dogs that are like I don't know. It pops up on my Instagram
Great
reels.
Danes or
No,
No,
like
the
those
big
big
ones?
ass fluffy ones.
oh the ones that fight bears. I know what you're talking
Dude,
about.
Yeah,
some of them
they're so
dogs
cool.
get huge. Like I've seen
Yeah.
dogs like you know just at least 2
When they
times the size of a
stand up.
person. Yes.
They're so cute.
Are
Yeah.
they real though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
no,
Like
I
that.
definitely know what you're talking about because
Yeah.
they used to use them in war and like
Yeah,
to
yeah,
fight and shit.
so I have a Rottweiler and my Rottweiler is pretty big and I've taken him to the dog park and there's a dude that shows up that has a dog like 3 times the size of my Rottweiler and
Is
it
it Rottweiler?
freaks me out.
Oh,
It's not a
okay.
Rottweiler, it's a big fluffy dog.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Does it freak your dog out? Like he's like, yo.
it
chill,
freaks
bro.
everybody out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole park we freaking out.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say Komodo dragon. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
I don't know about that.
Even since I was a kid, I always wanted to. I probably just let him just run the fuck free, like in this contained like area. But like I always wanted. Even, I'm talking about when I was a kid. I'm like that's the closest thing to the like a dragon. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you hear a
Dinosaur.
dragon.
Yeah, that nigga's sick.
I want
He's so fucking out. So Game of Thrones. So,
I want to know what kind of animal you would
Yeah,
have.
let's go around the horn here.
Shit.
Hey, my man said the lobster from
Nah.
Eric.
Relax.
Relax.
Fucking Little Mermaid.
Yo, oh,
Off the top, what's the first one that comes to mind?
it's like want a snake, right?
Okay.
Women that like snakes.
Okay, so you don't want to stay with you. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
women that like snakes.
Okay.
But then the easiest thing is like oh, sorry, donkey. Women are really
You said a who?
A donkey.
a donkey.
Okay.
Yo, donkeys are mad
Hey,
loyal though.
I'm
Yo, I feel
I'm
that.
assuming you got land, because you got land.
All right,
Okay.
Right.
all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Barbie.
Was the question like something that you would just like to have, or it has to be like exotic?
No,
No. Well, yeah. Whatever you want, really. You choose. It says you.
Yeah, I mean any type of animal. I think it's pretty common, but as a pet, like horses, just some horses.
Yeah.
Clydesdale. Right. That's the type of horse. They're very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive horses. I used to have horses, by the way. Like
Yeah?
no bullshit.
Really?
I used to have donkeys.
He had
Oh,
donkeys, I had
that's why you said
horses.
that.
Oh,
Right.
you really had donkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My man from Jamaica. For real. Right? Yeah, tell him.
There's
He
donkeys.
said, tell him.
Tell him.
No, for real.
Alright.
That's cool.
I'm assuming you like, what
Yeah, I want a feathered serpent. You
my
know?
man said,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
That'd be fire though, like, oh shit.
No, but for real, I would like to have a pet owl.
Oh
Damn.
no!
Lechuza?
The lechuza.
Oh, whoa. So that, wait.
Well,
they said that, you said out.
Some people think that I've seen a lechuza in real life, right? An
Yeah.
actual lechuza, but the owls aren't look anything like a lechuza. I've seen an actual human bird combination. That's some witch stuff, right?
That's some
real
scary
witch
shit.
stuff, yeah.
No, but owls, I mean, I guess we familiarize
They, like,
them with the
wisdom.
We
lechuza.
associate them with the lechuza, yeah. But no, I want like a little barn owl, a little brown owl or something.
Okay.
You know, they're very receptive. They're like dogs, but the thing is that they have to eat. They have to hunt their own food, so they can't be captive in home.
Right.
They have to be left outside. So I just want one that comes to visit. That would be cool.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter owl, and you want Hagrid's dog.
Yeah. There you go. What are we in Hogwarts?
Right. Come on, guys.
And the Shrek. And the Shrek films.
All right, bro. I think you're up, right? So, what TV show would you want to be featured guest on or participate in? Outside of the Sam Pluto show. Outside of the Sam Pluto show.
I don't know, man. That's a hard one. Ooh.
Like all, I mean, I'm gonna just say this anytime, each
That's
year.
Nah, absolutely not. Oh my god.
What about
Probably,
even? What about even like a stream show or something, right? Like
Carisha's show?
Carisha show. Okay. You know, I never watched. I always seen the clips.
Yeah.
But it looked like that should be going fire. I
Man.
definitely want to produce content like Carisha. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a cool enough name like Carisha, but okay, so Carisha, so like a dope ass, big ass podcast like Carisha's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
Yeah.
not like no jumper or anything.
Man, no jumper, so disrespectful. Like when that dude on that, what's the dude's name? I think his name is Shark. He got the slick back hair.
Oh, he be so disrespectful.
I'm like, hey, you know,
Man, he don't care.
He's saying, hey, shut your ass up. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And they love that. They love that.
Yeah, Shark is crazy. Yeah. No jumper crazy.
Nah, I'm good on that.
I mean, I don't know if I want to get, no jumper wall, but like, I mean, it'd be dope to have the type of guest that he had on, just to kind of, we see like different lights, like different industries and shit like that people aren't used to hearing about every day. So yeah, shout out to Adam too. All right, so give up breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and why?
Oh man, dude, I am a lover of all foods. So that's a hard question. Breakfast is definitely I would give up lunch.
Okay.
Because breakfast is definitely my favorite meal of the day. I love breakfast, and I can eat breakfast for dinner. So I can eat breakfast all the time. But lunch I skip it anyway. So
I'm gonna be honest, like I'm giving up dinner. 'Cause I need brunch. You feel me?
Yeah.
okay.
I need pancakes at fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Definitely some yogurt or
Yeah, I love
gotta
breakfast.
go.
Yeah, for lunch is cool.
All right, last up. Do you have a favorite artist?
What kind of artist like?
It just says literally, do you have a favorite artist? You can do whatever you want. Or basically, who is your favorite artist?
Jay-Z. Just go with that.
Jay-Z? Keep it simple.
Simple.
It's a rock. Okay.
It's the rock.
What's your favorite thing about Jay-Z?
I think I like the idea when him kind of really embody the street figure, but can't really go corporate, right? Like growing up, wanted to dive into music and seeing how you can transition from music into legitimacy and kind of like leave music and be something more bigger than music. It's kind of one of my favorite things because everybody loves the lyrics and everything else, right?
Yeah.
He got out the game clean.
Yeah. And he's one of the bigger ones too. One of the bigger ones to do it. Super respected. Yeah.
A lot of respect. Come on, heavy on. See the eye.
Alright, so
Heavy on.
So Jay-Z,
Jay-Z, simple.
Jay-Z and Jay-Z with Kanye live in concert. So yeah, it's an interesting show, but I don't know, man. Fuck Kanye right now, man. Like I watched that whole interview, man. I was just like,
What is it? The CB? What is
fuck. It's
it?
just
CBS one? What?
No, he was on, fucking white boy Tucker Carlson shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got me so mad, but anyway, fuck that. All right, let's get to the subject matter.
All right.
So tonight, guys, I have the questions here. Should I read one off or you got me? All right. So again, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Vibe Pod Media on Facebook and YouTube. Do that shit right now. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and comment. What I want y'all to do is type A, enter, B, enter, type all the alphabets and hit enter, just so we can get the algorithm going crazy with comments, okay? Just, then go with all the punctuations, period, enter, exclamation, enter. All right, here we go. So we're gonna get to the main thing of the night. So again, tonight we're having a topic-based conversation about, polarizing relationship debate, or presumably debate questions, right? So at the end, though, the caveat is, say I'm Pluto Island today, so at the end, we're going to be voting 2 people off the island. Shit. Y'all ready for that? Now, I'm letting the producer choose who he's voting off the island, because this is what I've done, right? So I've got this big pool of people. Each episode, we're going to be narrowing them down, and then we're going to have a finale with the people who make it to the final. Sam Pluto Island. We don't have any fire to put out like Survivor, but we just gonna let the producer do what he wants, all right? So, but let's get to it. Let's go with the first, and I'll be moderating the conversation just to make sure we're on topic, or I might interject something just to pizzazz the conversation a little bit. All right, so let's get started. Got it. What we got?
All right. Question number 1. Your parents say that they will disown you if you continue to date your significant other. Would you continue the relationship? So one more time. Your parents say that they will disown you if you continue to date your significant other. Would you continue the relationship?
Okay, now question them.
Yeah, so the question is, would you date?
No, me hear the question.
Huh?
Okay, now question this.
It's a question. So it's a polarizing question. Why? We chose this question because people do experience this. Whether it be like I'm gonna just say like a race or religion thing. But say if it's just like we just don't fuck with that person. We don't like this guy because, or we don't like this girl because of this or that. So what would y'all do and why? So anybody can go, but for the first question, let's start off with Joaquin.
Oh man.
Relax.
Relax. I'm gonna say it just like you. This is something that I think that a lot of people in my culture experience all the time, right? Because in my culture, it's a matriarch, even though it's a patriarch, right? So the man is the one that runs the house, but the mom is the one that really takes care of the boys. That's if you have the privilege of having 2 parents. I had the privilege of having both parents. I still have them. And so my mom was the one she basically set the foundation of who I date as women. And so, I look for people who have qualities just like my mother. And when they don't, right, a lot of the times, my mother is a short indigenous lady, right? She's short, kind of chunky indigenous lady, right? And she looks like an Indian. She wears long Indian earrings and whatever, right? And so, tall, beautiful Spanish-looking women probably ain't gonna fit in my home, right? Of course, because of mainstream media and all that stuff, I'm attracted to that type of woman. And so, there was a lot of headbutting in the home, a lot of fighting over the people that I brought home that I was dating, and so, whenever I really was, I'm an artist, I'm a creative. I fall in love. That's my work is love. Mm-hmm. And so, so when I was dating, they never liked the people I dated, So it was that was a constant conversation. But for me, I would continue to bring this person home that I feel like I love, right? Because I have a lot of love to give, and I think that at some point my family would have to understand that there's a certain trait in the person that I fell in love with that they may not understand. It may be past their generation. It may be out of what they understand. And so I think that the most important piece was to build the communication with my parents and my significant other and have them understand each other. Maybe help them understand each other.
One quick thing before we move on, but the question, well, how would you react if they hit you with we were going to disown you if, how would that be, straight
right.
up, because I don't know how that feels, but it's for a family member to say, hey, we don't fuck with this person, that's it, they'll never come back here again if you continue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the kind of deep piece of the conversation.
Yeah.
How one will respond to that.
I would let them disown me for a little bit. They would have to. Yeah. They would. They would have to. We can come back. Yeah. Time is
Anytime.
time is we have yeah. I mean, like life is short, right? So like, I think that I would take the time to experience the experience. Find but I love my parents and I think that if that I would create the space for them to understand and I mean so I'm avoiding the question kind of right but because I don't deal with people who disown
Right.
it's tough.
It is a tough situation, but I think the way I would react to it, I would be hurt. And unlike you, I feel like I'm a person who, to a certain extent, holds some grudges a little bit, which is a bad thing about me, but I do. You seem like that's my thing. It would hurt. Like, I love this person, so that means you don't love me because you're telling me, you're giving me an ultimatum. So I feel like that would be very hurtful, and I would kind of hold a grudge. Once again, you're right. Life's short. Maybe time heals, but that's hard for them to give you that ultimatum.
And I think that those ultimatums are surface. You know what I mean? I think grudges are surface. I think that there's a lot of understanding to have. There's a lot of communication to be done, and when we come from a certain perspective in our existence in our lives, like we have to really sometimes don't have to understand where people are coming from, right? Like there's a huge communication barrier with me and this homeboy right here, but I think that we're gonna take the opportunity to learn the inflection of his tone, but that takes time. It takes time to heal. But yeah, let me tell you, I might have family that's super grudge holding, and it's taken years for me to get back with some of them, but we've come back around.
Time. Melody. So, and then we'll go to Dina.
Definitely hurtful. I actually asked my mom a question similar to this because we were watching the Jeffrey Dahmer, and I was like, would you disown me if I did something like that? And she was like, she just didn't know what to say,
I
but
thought you were about to say that you dated Jeffrey Dahmer.
no, like, would you still be with me? Would you still have my back?
Would you love me unconditionally?
Yeah, would you love me unconditionally if I did some crazy shit like that? And she was kind of shocked.
That's
and
deep.
and she was like, well, yeah, I love you. Like, you're my daughter regardless, no matter what. And
But you wouldn't have been mad if she said no, right? To be for.
I mean, I'm a mother as well, and I would.
Your kids like, hey, eating people and shit. I'm like,
It's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, I think the better question is like, how could you disown? I don't know. I get it. Everyone's family is different, but.
Right, because I definitely can see. Say like a super religious based family, how they like, hey, we just can't do it because of this, and this. So, I mean, I don't know. I've seen people go through this before, but not, I haven't experienced anything like that. But I can see how that happens commonly.
No, I can definitely see it, and I can tell you firsthand that it's very common. Like you said, once again, going back to like race and religion, you said it yourself. Our culture. Latino men, Hispanic men are very machista. They're very, the man. So when they see you date a man outside of their race, they're kind of like
offended.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to that word offended, but what do you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, like everybody else, grudge. You feel some type of way if you get this one right, but yeah, would I just continue my relationship still because time is a thing. And one thing about family, even outside like the religion or the culture, right? Like, them still find a way to come support you, even though they don't like your other significant person, right? So, as your family member or as the person.
Go ahead.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, for just build your own life. I hope that everybody can accept how your life is. So would I continue the relationship, but would I feel some type of way within this woman still? But hopefully time can heal that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Word, man.
That's so deep, man. So,
but let me say one more thing.
go ahead. Yeah.
All our culture, I feel say like, when they really react the type of this one, I say like other cultures, like Indian culture, we definitely want more in another family, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we don't have them type of or you can say like traits this distinguish within us and our culture. So we kind of 50-50 on it, where them like for them response might be extremely different. You understand? Where they might have to pick them family for real instead of love, right? Because family is
Yeah.
I mean, that's different.
You know what? Let me just say this real quick. You know, it's very interesting because, like, I'm gonna just keep it real. Like black people don't the black people don't care. Not like that, but like, I mean, if you know your mom or your pops would just say like, hey man, as long as y'all good, that's it. It's none of this. And man, it's not even really a conversation either. Because it's kind of like a demographic thing too, like San Antonio, or say if you was in Atlanta, like it would be it's a whole bunch of black people in Atlanta, so you're most likely gonna, and the percentages are higher if you meet somebody that
expected.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I will say that it is a thing, just like the Hispanic men in our culture. I've seen it where women will look at you ugly because your child is mixed, or just.
Now that should hurt more than anything to me.
They see you, or they tell you something like, "Oh, you're with a Latina." Even the men, you're with the Latina, vice versa.
Yeah,
Should we preface that we have mixed children, or should we? So people have context about maybe your perspective.
Oh, yeah.
I have a mixed children.
I do. I have a mixed daughter. Her dad's black.
Yeah. So
that's
people
where I'm
understand
coming from, I guess.
our
yeah. Well, no, yeah, but
potentially.
and I feel that it's true, and I think that same goes for being gay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My father would most likely disown me if I was to come out gay, and but I think honestly time would heal that, and and I don't think that I should stop living my own life just because they have an outside perspective that's a little twisted, But like I'm saying, time will heal. Like you're saying, time will heal. I want them to have that time to heal, and I think that we would have a better relationship once they healed.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All right, cool. Does anybody else want to say anything about this topic before we move to the next one? First of all, hey man, this is the type of shit. I love the conversation. This is what we're doing. So it's not that crazy, Bucky, right? You good?
I'm still nervous, man. I'm still nervous.
We chill. All right, cool. Okay. All right, so while we're queuing up some other pieces of our conversation again, make sure to like and subscribe to Wi-Fi Media. And San Pluto. Just type San Pluto on Google to take you everything you need to know. So, okay, hold on. So, did any Barbie? If you care to let us know, how did your family feel about
Okay, so I'll say that I wasn't the first to have a mixed child in my family, but one of my family members did stop talking to me solely because of it.
Wow. Interesting.
So, like I said, I understand that, and time did heal. Fortunately, the relationship is not the same because it's different when they do it to you than when they do it to your children. Right, so, but yeah, that was my take on it.
So that personally, like, indirectly, kind of, essentially, not say disowned, but they just excommunicated just because of that. So that's deep as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because if you think about the history of racism within our own Hispanic community, right? It wasn't something that comes innate or naturally from our community. This is something that white supremacy has pushed on us, and that we have begun racing to the top against each other, because of the infrastructure of white supremacy. You have people trying to own homes, and they can't do it unless they have a man and a woman, and then you can't. And when have you ever heard of the term redlining? Right, right. So there's neighborhoods that are redlined, and you can't, certain neighborhoods you couldn't own property in these neighborhoods if you were black. So these little things have always set barriers for our people, and so I wish that I wish that I could explain that to people who have hurt you because of this unnatural racism that they've taken on because they're raised to power. And some people don't even know that they're being petty bourgeois, right? They're trying to do little things to kind of fit in, even the smallest things. And one of the things is hating people of color. Mm-hmm. Black people, brown people. But you know what? I like to say that you've got two beautiful worlds coming together to make strong children, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. 2043.
Thank you.
One final thing before we go on to the next one. Check this out. So has anybody heard of the Temple of the Warriors in Mexico? Like there's this like picture and it shows like they drew this, like ancient civilizations drew this, and it's still in color. It's like white people on one side over here, and then it's like indigenous people. They knew what they colored the skin tones, so you can clearly tell these people were like maybe say maybe black, and then the other ones were indigenous. You know what I'm saying? But they were working together while the white people were on the other side of the picture on ships and shit.
Well, we have actually, there's a small little town in Mexico that still has the Afro-Mexicanos. And it's when, they have their own almost culture and their own thing. It's where the refugees were landing there.
Yes, Muskis, right?
No, it's in the small corner of like Sinaloa, towards that area.
Okay.
But that's all throughout Mexico, you know what I mean? And if you, I'm just gonna lay it on San Antonio if people are listening, but mariachi music comes from black people. And that is also the what they call the third root. You had the indigenous community playing the percussive. You had black folks who had come in the ships through Veracruz, right? And then you had they had developed this sound called son jarocho, and from that we started to glamorize that and turn that, and Spanish people started to take it over and play what was mariachi music, and then it became a Mexican cultural thing. And now we have like San Antonio being one of the biggest mariachi competitively mariachi cultures in San Antonio, and a lot of people don't know that the history is black. A lot of it is black, a lot of it is brown.
Absolutely. My daughter's great-grandparents are the Negros Mascobos, and all the family saw was that she's black. And she's from the same area we're at.
It's deep.
Wow,
that's deep.
That's so deep.
It's deep.
Man, I love this piece of the conversation, but for the sake of time, let's go to the next one. And
all right.
We're going to have Melanie kick it off.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
So you waiting on me?
Yeah.
All right. A man is getting married and wants to invite his ex. His fiance refuses and says that if she attends, there will be no wedding. Is she overreacting? Explain.
All right.
Let's go.
I think that whenever you're coming together as a couple, married couple, it's a lot of sacrifice, compromise, and you have to come together with decisions. So if you're gonna marry this person, obviously it depends, like this ex, like so many factors, like ex, like you were just with her, or like your ex from like middle, you know what I mean? Like, is it a family member? Like, I feel like there's so many factors, but absolutely not. You have to kind of respect your wife's opinion. This is your freaking wedding. What do you mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say it's enough for
So
me.
again, for people that's listening, a man is getting married and wants to bring his ex. His fiance refuses and says that if she attends, there will be no wedding. So again, a man is getting married and wants to invite his ex. We're just gonna leave it at ex. We don't know if it's like ex from middle school, elementary, or not. We're just saying ex. So, you get married. You know what I'm saying? And you want to
Let me know.
want to invite your ex to the wedding. Like, yo, can she come? That man took a gulp, boy. Okay. What's going down?
Is she RSVP?
Is she overreacting if she says no to that?
Now, two. All right, look.
Okay.
What kind of story, right? So like the more I invite next, you understand? The more I invite next, right? But realistically, I don't want them type of problems in the future. So
yeah.
Right.
next, she not come.
Happy wife, happy life.
And like the street, like the street.
Somebody, I see sabotaging going on.
Yo, no, son, no.
She gonna be the one to say, I
object.
Yeah, son. And then she, I don't want to say, he was with me last night. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
That.
yeah.
So Barbie, I mean, is everybody a hard no on this one?
Hard,
I am
hey.
a hard no.
Hard no.
No.
Okay.
I'm
I mean,
not.
what was my perspective? Like, my ex wants to, I mean, my
You-
husband
yes.
wants to bring, yeah, absolutely not.
So village, no, okay.
Like, am I the one that wants to bring my ex?
I'm gonna put a caveat in just to kind of expand the conversation.
Okay.
Of course, this ex is a mother of your child.
Yeah,
So,
it changes.
For the sake of civility and a lovely blended family.
Oh.
She says no.
Like, Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys. You gotta blend it, everybody in the goddamn house. So, I mean, for the sake of civility, and I don't know, I'm just using the word civility and just kind of strong future for both families. I mean, would that be applicable and acceptable? And then I'm gonna jump to you.
I think so. I mean, if you're getting married, you should have already accepted the other family, the ex-wife or whatever. You have children, so that should already been established. Like,
So she's coming to the wedding.
yeah,
Okay, she's coming to the wedding now. Okay, now she's
unless there's
now she's
problems,
coming.
of course. But
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. If it's, the mother of your child, then obviously I want to be on good terms. If I'm marrying you, I want to be on good terms with the mother of your children. Why am I going to get into a marriage who's got baby mama drama? Like,
unless she's problematic and
right.
like she's about to ruin my wedding, then of course not.
right.
So
that
the
would
difference is the
baby
children.
mama problem.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, question.
I'm not a hard no.
Okay.
I think that what's important is that people communicate relationship-wise. If you're marrying somebody who's had problematic exes, you probably have a partner who has problems, and that's what you want. That's what you want. I don't know. Maybe the sex is better when they got some trouble. I mean, they got some freaking prison tattoos or something, or they got some. But I'm just saying though, what kind of strong foundation of a relationship do you have? And if you have, I think that if you have a solid, strong foundation with your partner, they most likely had a strong foundation with the next, and you will probably have a good friend who comes around as a good friend. Hey, I know him on a certain couple levels. We can have some jokes about my partner, but if you don't have a strong foundation with your partner and there's a little bit of problems with that ex, it's probably because you also got a problematic partner.
Right.
Let's say we take the kid out of the situation, right? Like, not every ex need to come walk within the future. No matter how good it was, no matter how good of a friendship it was, they can still start a new life with a new wife, and your ex have to still live her or his life, right?
Yeah.
You see that, Ryan?
Yeah, man, it's good. You're pretty good at this, man.
I'm still cool with a couple of my exes, you understand?
Yeah.
But if I start something and say, all right, yo, decide for me, you understand? This at the end of the world, decide. And she say, yo, I know say your best friend that, but she can't come. And I say, all right, well, so I want a friendship, I forget seven. You understand? Because that person that's been the rest of my life with. No, if something happened in the future, when I say, oh, well, you like it, I say, well, she problematic too for making such a decision. Well, that's something I have to deal with. I'm going to decide to spend the rest of my life with her, you understand? But we can't blame that situation upon she don't want to bring my ex home, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, me have to be willing to let her go, no matter how good of a friend she is. You understand? Because no matter how good of a friend, the connection always still stronger.
We'll always be there, yeah.
You understand? Always. It's not always, oh, that's my friend, you can always talk to me like, yo, yeah, and I always reminisce. Remember that one time?
No.
You understand?
Wow, I mean,
So let's expand this really quickly. So,
Now I'm saying wrong then, but just I say.
no, I know. I'm feeling what you're saying, man.
Okay,
You make a good.
okay.
And I have a lot to say about it. I love that.
let me ask this real quick. Is there anything to say about the, not the husband, but maybe the wife? Is it like, say, he really wants this person, whether they had children or not, to come to the wedding for this, really, say a legitimate reason, right? No, it was just pure ex.
Like you said, a really good friend.
Right. Is there something to be said about the wife?
Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
Am I bad if you said
No,
said,
no,
okay,
ladies
I'm gonna
first,
do
ladies
it.
first.
no, yeah, I feel like it definitely does have to say because, like he said, if she's a really good friend, then she should already been accepting of that friend, you know.
Fire.
But
Okay.
on the same boat, I mean, it's always gonna be that connection, and it's just kind of.
Let us know, okay?
Yeah, no. So like, what you say, right? Like, biggest elephant are insecurities, right? Like that, having a conversation and saying your wife insecure, but also it come back to like the compromise. Like you said, like, well, me are going to this lifelong contract, so I can compromise with this particular insecurity because it kind of warranted, right?
Yeah.
It's an ex. If I just want a regular, like, yo, I can't be your coworker or something, I mean, maybe she know more, you understand, but still,
Right.
that's your ex.
Not just ex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still gonna say that.
Insecurity.
We still have a hard no with Melody, no matter what the goddamn situation is. Yo, she saved my life. I was choking on your hip by a car, and then the elephant ran my ass over.
She had to French kiss me back to life.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No,
No,
but,
she's not coming. That's it.
but no, what is to be said with the connections that you're going to make in the future, right? What if one of y'all right now is one of my best friends in 2 years? What is that to be said about how people make connections? Or what is that to be said about natural connections that we make with people? Like sometimes as a nurse, right, you make connections with people who are having a really hard moment with their health, but they'll say, I had the best nurse I've ever experienced ever. And you had a meaningful connection with it, right? So what, is your partner going to be pissed? I think that it's unfair. I think it's unfair to say that we should hold people back from having real connections with other human beings. I think that real connections are what make this world move in a better place, right? So you know, I mean, she was an ex probably for a really good reason, but you know, doesn't mean that there still can't be a really good connection.
I get
That's
that,
true.
but
No,
I think
ladies
it's
first. Go on.
disrespectful, no?
To the wedding. I think
like,
it just
why-
gets to the point, like to
Yeah.
the wedding. She
Let
can
me
be a
ask you this:
friend, that's
how
fine.
about the wedding or the reception? Can she come?
Can she come to the party?
Once we already married,
Like,
we
my
married.
party drink, but I want to see you in that church. You know what I'm
So I'm right.
See,
right?
that's where compromise comes in.
Okay.
You know what, babe? She can't come to the church, but she can come to the reception. She can
Yo,
party
yeah,
with
tell
us.
us in the
She not come at all. She can't even put on the floor, the ground. And he's not lying, right? Like, good connection sometimes is hard to find, right? But I think, and even though you're right about like that shouldn't be tampered with, still the question begs, she don't want her to come. So it's like, it's almost like it's kind of messed up in a way because right before, you begin your endeavor on your lifelong contract, you already get set up with the ultimatum already, right? Because it's like, all right, me how you feel right now, but she can't come, all right? But she's like, oh, it's my best friend. She saved me. Elephant stepped on me. She gave me. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I know, but like, I mean, how you feel about it? It's kind of messed up, so you're not wrong, but still, if she puts you in that situation, like,
What are you
gonna
doing?
choose?
again,
Since your view is different, if they gave you the ultimatum, would you be like, okay, forget the wedding?
me?
Or would you
Let me
still?
hold on one second, Melanie. What if you had a good relationship with the ex? Meaning like cordial, just, you know, terms were great. I mean, kid or no kid involved. It was just.
I think it depends too, because
It
let's
depends
say
on-
the ex was like somebody that I don't know. I don't know y'all's relationship. I haven't seen y'all interact, right? That's definitely like sketchy. But if it was somebody that I knew or we've already hung out, that means I already accepted her, so she can come.
Damn,
But if it's somebody
Who
that I
hang
don't
out
even
with
know,
exes? No,
Yeah, yo, good
like
job.
it just depends
Okay.
because it could be a
Yeah,
weird
but
ex. It
first
could
of
be,
all, yeah, I'm not hanging out with no ex.
and this should
I
be
don't know
established.
is
already.
involved. So no,
Yeah, it just depends.
It's
to
just
me.
like, what are we gonna talk about? Like, he's our common
man.
factor. No.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I
think it
couldn't have
depends.
already had a good relationship.
Because
with
the
ex. It's
wife,
just
the
weird.
ex, the wife with the kids, that's an ex too. You're gonna accept
So y'all
that?
not,
Yeah.
y'all not all pulling up to the Black Panther release. The
No,
Black
not
Panther
hang
six.
out like that.
Y'all not all going together as a family. Damn, I don't know. That may be the flood. They buying the
Right.
tickets. Like, let's go.
No,
So does this mean you are all insecure?
sure.
I'm gonna take that.
What's your answer?
Dude, I want to say, man, once again, I just feel like there are systems put in place to make us feel insecure about who we are and how we have relationships. A good connection is a good connection, and you're gonna have good connection with people in the future. I think that if you're Now, like, if your ex is a former meth head and comes through tweaking at the wedding, I definitely got a big problem because we're throwing a good party and we don't want no trouble.
Right.
But if your ex is a good
That's
person,
the same thing. Yeah, like what if she's just messy, problematic?
well, I don't want no messy people but it's funny because I'm probably related to the most messy people and they're all gonna show up, right? So my ex is probably the least of the problem. You know what I mean?
That's okay. I hear you. Okay. So does anybody want to interject? That was a dope conversation. So we'll go on to the next one. Does anybody want to interject or add any piece to it? Because I think everybody went hard that one. I fucks with it. All right, let's do some
Next.
Next.
Everyone's all mad now. All right.
We should move, boy.
Oh, I got more. I mean,
Okay, come on, guys.
One more, guys. The conversation has inspired. Thanks to everybody that's been tuning in, commenting on the stream. Make sure to like and share. Do all that stuff you're supposed to do when people say like and share and all that stuff like that. Do that. You know what I'm saying?
Punch the subscribe button over there. Just smash the
Hey,
subscribe
if
button.
you Android, that button over there. If you iPhone, that button over there. Put that one too over there.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Make it
Sample a while.
Make it good, guys. Man, come on, man.
Dating for about a year, but you have never, ever been to your significant other's home. What does that most likely mean? Explain. So you've been dating for a year.
You're gonna see
You
Bob.
have never been to your significant other's home because he's getting ready to marry his ex, which wedding you should be invited to. But you're dating for about a year. You have never been to your significant other's home. What does that most likely mean? Explain. I saw the two ladies look at each other. So obviously,
Let's start here. So you've been.
We've started here. Let's start there. Let's start it there.
Who's going first?
Y'all go first. I don't,
So you've been dating somebody
Okay.
for a whole 365 days, and you ain't been to the crib, drove by, seen what their mailbox look like. I mean, you ain't smelled the inside of the house to make sure everything's safe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what's going on. So what's the next move? And explain.
Make sure they got no meat in the freezer. Let
Oh,
me see. Yeah, a year is excessive because it's like, do you live with your baby mom? Are you homeless? Like,
He said you on the couch.
what's going on?
Yeah, could be.
But
Okay.
I do understand that some people are very, very private about their space. They're very private about their energy, about who they allow into their home, things like that. But I mean, if you're dating that person, to answer the question, 365 is excessive. A year.
I concur. I'm the moderator, but I concur. 365 days is a lot of days. So, Melody, with that being said, what's going on? What's the first thing in your mind? Are you asking questions? When are you asking the questions? Is it 6 months? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, if I'm dating a guy and I haven't gone over after a year, there's obviously something that's being hidden. But
Is it though? Because she just said.
why? Like, yeah.
What about the
something's
space?
being
What about the space? I'm just
We're
dead
dating
ass
for a year. I understand in the beginning, but why are we still dating if you think my energy is shit or whatever that was? As a mother, though, I wouldn't bring my kids over. I wouldn't bring anybody over in the space where I have my kids, though. So I
Right.
think that in the other way, it's just respect that I'm not sure about you yet. So we're still kind of like, I don't want to bring you over, and you know. So
You
to
just-
me,
Yeah.
I want to ask something before we move to the fellas. Let me add a slight caveat, right? And then we can go back to, you know, what it is, the question. It's a gentleman. He has kids that can, you know, fend for themselves. He doesn't have toddlers. Maybe he has like a high teenager that's like 16, 17, 18 or whatever, gentleman. So what Barbie said, you know, or somebody, I'm sorry, whoever said this about being around the children, he has kids, he has a house, he has his older teenagers there, and he's just making sure, like, is that okay? What I'm saying is, I added the age because they can be by themselves, you know what I'm saying? So then he doesn't have to be there. That wouldn't be an excuse like, hey, why haven't been to the house yet? Because, well, I have these older kids, and
I
you know.
could do that.
Yeah. So
That's
what do you?
understandable.
So even the time length is fine. 365 days is
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, if we're together that long, I understand in the beginning, like you're still not
Okay.
sure, but like after a year, I think it'll be questionable. Like I don't think you're taking me serious if I still, you know what I mean? I
Right.
don't know.
If
'Cause
I
had
haven't
a
met
situ-
your children, if I haven't, you know, if you don't feel fine around
Yeah.
your children. That's
that
what I'm
has to be
saying.
the reason.
I get it, but so what would your cutoff time be?
Yeah.
Like when you start questioning it, probably at like 90 days.
Hey, let me call HR. It's that probationary. That's that probationary HR
Do
period.
you get the insurance or not?
Okay, fellas. So they're highly suspicious.
Yeah.
You know, y'all dating somebody. Yeah, it's been a year. What y'all thinking?
What could be
Off
the
top.
reason?
If she hasn't invited me over,
What if I'm sorry. What if she's been inviting you to like hotels and shit, like Four Seasons type vibes? You know what I'm saying? Like
Making him
it
pay
ain't
for
been
it,
no
though.
cheap ass hotel. Y'all been luxurious plush type shit.
so me I know about two then.
Yeah, you a hot number 2, boy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, like the five, so me I know about two,
He's
Okay,
fair,
okay.
man.
right?
My bad. Go ahead though.
Yeah, but it's that time period still, I should say. 90 days, 6 months, whatever. But look, even if I'm have grown kids, little kids, right? Like, when I think say you can't really justify, you can't really justify like, yo, I'm gonna cook dinner for you tonight, right? Or come grab a movie tonight. Like, unless the only thing we can think of we can justify that, I'll probably say I have a roommate, right? And the situation kind of different. Or your living scenarios is somewhere close to home, but you're in a home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But let's take them the two out of the situation. You have your own house, maybe you have kids, maybe you don't have kids. Yo, pass a certain time, a year, like the best scenario is, I'm not gonna say trust issues, but more so, like you said, like, yo, I don't know if you're really the one for me still, so I want to invite you in my space.
Honesty, yeah.
That have to be the situation. No other situation we can think of. Even if you take care of somebody sick, yeah, dog, like you can't still invite her, like come over.
Come on over.
Yeah, come grab my dinner, man, cool.
She said, "Hey, I got an Airbnb. Come through, not my house, but the Airbnb."
Yeah, nothing can warrant that, dog, unless like you're really hell bent and say, yo, like my life, you know, but why?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if
I guess
do this-
nothing can warrant the year.
Nothing can warrant that.
But after 60 days, you asking questions?
No, I mean 2
90.
months. No. I mean,
Too soon, right?
yeah,
60 days is too soon.
60 days too soon. Cause how much when you start talking to somebody, right? How much time when I link up in that 60 years? Like for real.
How many times?
Yeah, how many times when I link up? When you
Ooh,
first
that's hard because for me, if I like them, like you gotta see me 57 times a week.
Yo,
No, okay. But in all seriousness, maybe like the 60 days, maybe a good 6 times. Like if
all right, realistically, right? I got work, and then realistically,
yeah,
Right.
children,
Arrangements, yeah.
So fair enough. If 90 days will come around and them say, yo, like, make me do this for you, you know, something might be up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If in living situation is exclude what we talk about, right? So yeah, I say, yo, something up. you got something up or like you don't really rock with me, read me like I say you read me, you understand?
Yeah.
So before I go to Joaquin, would it be okay though, or does this justify anything if the person is like, look man, I really like this person, but like my fucking living situations is fucked up right now. I mean, they got a job, they got their whip, but they maybe they feel embarrassed or they really fuck with you, you fuck with them.
No, yeah. That's
like,
what I said. Like that's excluded. Like that's
Okay.
because if that's the case, then like
a year's okay?
that's justified. Yeah.
Yeah.
But after a year, I think there should be some honesty. It's like you either understand it or you don't. You know,
Yeah, well,
regardless of the person's living situations, you're either gonna accept that or you're not.
Yeah.
So there should already be some honesty.
Right. So yes, cause let's say you might live with him virgin and him girl, right? Like,
Under the bridge.
no, in virgin, like
Oh.
a friend, under the bridge.
He lives with a friend,
We
okay.
live with our friend and him girl, like you wouldn't really care about getting invited over there, right?
Yeah.
Would you? Or would you?
If you live with like a girlfriend.
No.
No,
If
just
we
a
live with our friend
Just a
and in
friend.
front of the girlfriend. So he might have third wheel.
Right, like so
Like,
he lives with a relationship, like they're
couple.
together. He lives with a couple, right?
Yeah, he lives with a couple.
Okay. And then
Would you
would
mind?
you? Yeah.
A whole year, like, would you still be like, yo, I want to go over there, like?
I mean, I think I would question it in the sense of, you know, why are you still living with the couple? But like once again, it goes back to honesty.
Just
like
tell me the
just
truth.
tell me communication.
No, he told you. He told you.
Oh, he told me.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and I
it's
still
just-
can't
it's
come
just-
over.
Be like, okay.
It's like you just like, yo, like you haven't been there.
Like,
you
would you
understand?
be awkward in the situation? I would think no. Like, if you know the couple,
Yeah.
Let's be friends.
No justification
yeah, let's
still.
be friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on a double date.
Joaquin.
I mean, a year. Dude, a year is a small amount of time in the span of your existence, you know? I mean, like, you have all the time to build with this person, right? If you're going to try to go the long haul with this person, right? If this person is the one for you, a year is nothing. And there's a lot of things that we work with each other, that we have to learn about each other. There's a lot of things. And if you have kids, even more so, your kids, you have to build some trust. What if, you know, your people in 90 days is not enough to know that they might be a violent person. You know, you can hide that for 90 days. So a year, I mean, come on, you can hide it for a year too, right? So for me, importantly, it's, I just think, because say, for example, this is another perspective. Say, for example, that your person that you're dating for a year is still with the next. They're still with the partner. They're still maybe visiting another person that they think it's not going to work, but they're still going there, right? Like, you have to be open-minded that this person is trying something. They're trying to figure themselves out. And then, you know, say, for example, it isn't another person, but say this person is just is having anxiety or something, right? It takes more than 3 months. It takes more than 6 months to deal with anxiety. So I honestly think that this is the hardest part, I understand. But you have to be open-minded with your partner, that they may be going through something, that they may be having some perspectives that they need to figure out first. A year is nothing in a span of time. A year is nothing in a span of a relationship that would last, say, 40. Like my parents have been married for 42 years, right? 1 year in 42 years, I mean, that's nothing.
But
That's
what
nothing.
if you're like asking or you're wondering and he's just not going to give you any answers? You know what I mean? Like that's just so
Well, you
like.
say this person
I
is
think that
transparent
if
about
they're
their
trans-
issues.
Right, so like if say a person, if you were asking and they were keeping it to themselves, then I would just hope that they would meet you with the same open-mindedness, because I'm gonna date you for a year, right? And I'm probably gonna do my own thing too.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing your own thing, then I'm gonna do my own thing. I just would like that there would be an open-minded perspective between the two.
Just honesty, yeah.
See, but it goes to like what you're saying. They're trying to get healed. They're still trying to work out their past relationship or something. But that's tough, because if you're still living with your wife and say, you know, you're going through a divorce, trying to figure out the living situation, you might be staying in one room, she's staying in, you know, whatever, it's still tough, because why are you trying to start a relationship when you're not even fully...
I mean, yeah, and think about it, right? Like, you say you're trying to figure it out, and your relationship right now, you ain't talking, you ain't sleeping in the same room, but every once in a while you sneak off to each other because you have a human need. You have human need, right? You have a human need for sex. You have a human need for this type of thing, right? Like, you know, like I would just hope that the person with dating would have an open mind enough to understand that they are dealing with that they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure it out. If you haven't seen a person's living situation in a year, you would have to know at least 6 months in that your person is dealing with something. And if you have a partner who doesn't understand that and they're fighting you about it, it's probably not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Facts. Now, let me ask y'all this. This is a group question. What's the longest, and we'll go around the horn, what's the longest y'all have been without seeing somebody's place? You know, that maybe somebody that you dug, or, you know, that you was feeling like, is it the longest, like, you know, if, you know.
That's a funny question.
Okay. Let's see.
We'll start with the guys this time.
We helping people out here today, boy. We helping folks.
Dude,
Go ahead.
I've had some strange situations. Because I'm an artist, right? And I don't know. I'm also. I mean, you know. I know. I have a really. I have a really good friend of mine. His name is David Casas. He always says. No, he's my homeboy, man, and I know that he's a really good friend of mine. I know he would understand, but he says that we have artistic license to have heartache. We have artistic license to go through a heartbreak, right? And like some people they have heartaches and they want to heal that so quick, right? For me as an artist, like I really I've elongated heartbreaks because it helps make good art. It makes good art, yeah. And I'm very passionate about my life. I'm very passionate about all things, and so like you know. I forgot where I was going with this.
No, like the art piece, like, you know, musicians really do, I'm going to be honest, man, like, you hear some fire-ass albums and stuff like that.
Right,
from musicians who are broken-hearted.
Like, respectfully.
Oh, so what I was going to say is that, like, I've had some very strange situations.
Okay.
I guess you could say, right? Relationships that probably started, you know, we were dating 2 weeks and we were moved in 30, you know what I mean?
Right to it.
You know what I mean, right to it, or even, but I've also experienced not seeing my partner's living space in the years. And so when this question came up, I was like, okay, like this is a real deal, because for me, the challenge came around 6 months, around 7 months, around 8 months, and I remember having to teach myself to be open-minded with my partner. I have to do it because the other thing too was that she was coming around with a car that was not hers. But
It was a different car every time.
not a different car every time.
Like her
It was
maybe
some-
partner.
it was your partner, her partner, her baby dad's car. But you know what? That's what
She's going through, yeah.
She's going through something right now. She has to deal with that. Go ahead. Okay. But I'll tell you this, it was difficult emotionally to handle because you couldn't help but have all these things in your mind. Because, you know, that's just, you know, that's what people think. But
Yeah.
I have to be open-minded about it.
Okay,
I tell you right now, if I drive to like, what? Can't do something. Can't do.
You got a tracker on that mug.
Yo,
No, they will.
Somebody knock on your house like, yo!
They put them little microphones in there. They
Yep.
go straight to the divorce attorney.
can't do.
Damn, oh, we getting inside scoop today, boy. Y'all quit playing. Y'all quit playing out there. Shit. Lose all y'all shit. So the longest time you've been without seeing somebody place?
So I was thinking about this honestly, right? And I think, honestly, God, dog, like maybe 2 weeks. But listen. Hear me out.
My man said,
He said, no, I found out.
Look. Like you, I was once an artist, you understand? And you can't think of two type of relationships, right? You can't think of the relationships when we meet those and the relationships where like it lasts up to 3 months, you understand? Like everybody has do them thing. Those are fling, right? So you do your thing, you meet up wherever you meet up, but you never kind of dig into the personal life. But everything else now, like usually, like, you understand? Yeah, link up, and 9 times out of 10, like, yeah, we'll link up. Yeah, going to her house, you understand? So
So is it normal, I guess, for you the 2 weeks for you to just be like, come on
no,
over?
it's not like that. Like okay, let me be, how can I say this? Most of my relationships, them kind of, back then, kind of spar from some type of spontaneous, you understand? Like you meet a person, and you catch a vibe, and then sometimes maybe people vibe more than the one vibe, but maybe people have needs and the one needs, and you're connecting that way, and then after that you start build. Like that's not normal, not normal, or abnormal. You understand?
Yeah.
So like, but that's me. That was the relationships I was in those times. So when I think about it, compared to like my last few relationships, it was a while. But back then, it was happening kind of quick. I was thinking this was the lifestyle I wanted. You understand? Like you kind of want to live this. Not saying you know, but you can't. Back then, you want to live this artistic lifestyle, and you know, rappers them talk about this and how much you grab your body count and them things like that. But when you grow up, you think about them things, they're foolishness. But that's the truth. You understand? I don't fight about that. It's the truth.
Okay, so
So yours?
yes.
13 years.
13
years. 13 years.
13 years. You know, I feel like that's a tough question. Because for women, it's very, I feel like we're on the opposite side of the table.
Okay.
It's like men are like, come over, you know, quick, like, first date, are you coming over after? Like,
Easier. So
Guess
I
it just
can't say
depends.
like
I
I
can't
can't
say I've
think
ever
about the
met.
longest.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's never been a problem.
No, it's not that you can, I mean,
It's
yeah,
never-
I
I've never
guess
run
the
into a
longest,
situation.
Maybe
Okay, I got you.
What's the quickest?
2
What's the
weeks.
quickest?
Okay.
Okay.
We have the conversation,
Yeah,
right?
he said, okay.
Just know she looked at me, she said, oh. She said, is that how y'all be relationship then? Like,
He said, what's quick?
so what, like,
Oh,
but
go
realistically,
ahead.
right, we all have those here. Sometimes some things build
Yeah.
differently than other
Different.
things. And sometimes it's just a memory, sometimes it's an experience, and sometimes it's an ex that may or may not come to the
Enjoy
way.
the people,
Yeah.
enjoy the experiences.
Sometimes it's the first day that you know you end up they're okay with it and you go with it. Just what it, sometimes it's like y'all start with dates and then it turns
Yep.
into like okay come over.
Yes.
So
Right.
it just really
Like you
depends.
said, there's very spontaneous moments sometimes that you just kind of start backwards. So
Okay.
the quickest few hours.
Hey, that's
Hey,
a-
hey, like, okay, so just connect with people. Like, man.
Right, connections. Here's the connection.
You can't have that.
And you know what? And I don't believe. I just. This is gonna be out there, kind of. It's really out there for thought, but I do believe that there's so many all over the world. Not just.
I love that you say that. We
Oh,
always ask people, do you believe that there's like a soulmate for you that's not someone that you're gonna marry? Like a friend, someone that you just connect on that level with, a soulmate.
I believe that. I believe that there's multiple soulmates.
Absolutely.
I believe that there's a world full of soulmates, and we could, in one lifetime, we could possibly be five.
No, seriously.
But I think that people, I think people want, this is how people want
I
because people
know.
don't like being uncomfortable. We don't like
Is
being
it-
uncomfortable with this conversation.
We have this conversation a lot. You know, it's so the monogamy. It's 100% a choice.
Monogamy.
Like me,
Remember
like
this
me.
one.
I'm speaking for me, like personally. Like I chose to be with one mate. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just gotta. It's like you like a karate black belt at this. You gotta. Your mind has to be like prepared for this journey. You know what I'm saying? With like one individual, because you know, in the animal kingdom proper, there are species of different animals that hey, one mate, that's it. If someone dies, that's it. That's nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little bit. That's just the way they were engineered, right? But me, you know, I straight up said like, yo, I'm just be one person. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not saying.
So is that,
Yeah.
is that married to one person?
Yes, my bad. Thank you. Marriage, right? I chose that piece of it. You feel me? Because I know we did have that piece of the conversation where, and we have to be specific about it. You know, some people like on a religious aspect, monogamy is like, hey, one forever to the infinity beyond. No, before I was married, I dated and stuff like that. Then I met a partner, and I'm saying I'm
Choosing.
choosing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it is, a choice. So.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand it.
Yeah.
A lot of people only know that that's the thing they have to do.
Right.
Some people will base their whole life success and accomplishment on one relationship. And I think, and I think that's a natural way of thinking.
No. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
that's why it's always. It's not like the easiest thing to kind of sit there and. It's like that's what I say. You got to become a judicial master, like in the
It's
mind. You know what I'm saying? It's a mind thing.
Like you can't help that you have a connection with somebody, but you know in your mind like I have somebody, but
The right thing. You feel like
it's
it's
like
the
you're
right
not.
thing
Yeah,
to do.
but you're human. Like
Humans weren't built that way, and we know that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's just kind of
it's a choice.
yeah.
Hard choice.
Man, so man, like let me know how did y'all feel about the show. Now we come to the difficult part. Look, guys, people that are watching, this was our first iteration of San Pluto Island. You know what I'm saying? Where we have this cool ass conversation, multiple subjects, and we kind of have a dope conversation about it. Originally, we were gonna have the people at home vote, right? But that's gonna be next episode. Where you can kind of text in your numbers like if you were watching American Idol and shit like that. But today, we're gonna have Gylan, the producer, who's been focusing ever so just closely to the conversation. And he's gonna be choosing who's not going to San Pluto Island number 2. I'm just the moderator. I'm just sitting here. So before we do all of that, if you enjoyed the show today, make sure to like and subscribe to Vipod Media on Facebook and YouTube, and Instagram, all that stuff. Make sure to follow San Pluto Show on IG, if you will. So Gylan, we've made it to the end of the show. We have about 6 minutes to discuss. Let's wait till the last second and then just shut off the stream. Before you say you got voted off, let's wait till the last 10 seconds and just end the stream.
I want to be dramatic and take a
You
break.
wanted to know what?
I want to know what you guys thought about the
I think it's making me self-reflect on certain topics. Like, damn,
Right.
am I insecure because the wife can come?
Because the ex can come?
Fuck that wife. Fuck that ex.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really did. I really dug everybody's response as well. I'm gonna just say that because I don't want to sway the producer. So everybody did a dope job today. But yes, please answer. How do y'all feel about the show from him?
Yeah, to her response, it definitely did feel like you're thinking about it and you're like, man.
And to hear other perspectives too.
To
It's
hear
like,
the perspectives, like, okay, well, I kind of see where they might be coming from,
Yeah, it wasn't as of crazier shows that we had in the past, but I like this too. You know what I'm saying? I really dig this because I'm a type of person. I be listening to like fucking podcasts and shit all fucking day. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm listening
Right.
news and I be I listen to an new album here and there. Then I'll get back to my news shit. So that's just me. But I like having these and honestly just listening. Like there's another show called More Than Magic that's also available exclusively on the Vipod Media Network on Facebook, and it's like a show where it's just like nothing but like black women, and I'm just like wow, I'm just listening, like because you just learn so much, like it's just knowledge. So I like this as well. So I like moderating conversations. So anyway, Dino, how did you feel about the conversation today?
I think it was good. I like the perspective from everybody. I think everybody here was very intellectual and kind of get to learn from everybody's perspective on their stories, right? Because ironically, we had some stories that kind of made sense with the question itself, and so we were kind of learning personally how they reacted and how they maybe thought they should react to now, react to then. It was good, so we look forward to the future.
I mean, do we have to vote anybody off, man?
yeah, don't do that to me.
No, what?
But okay, talk to me.
But we haven't got his perspective, have we?
I'm sorry. One more thing, Gylan. Let's let Joaquin go.
Show. How did you feel?
I learned a lot about the dynamic tones.
Real quick.
It's really important for me to know other cultures and languages. Y'all remind me a lot of people, of course, y'all remind me a lot of people that I know that are very close to me.
Yeah.
We appreciate yours.
shoot, is everybody still on the island or not?
So, yes, I'll leave everybody on mine.
Oh,
With this caveat.
okay.
All right. Joaquin and I go back to Hawaii. We go back to University of Asset, right? And one of the things that I found more interesting to us about our conversation tonight was everybody giving their unique perspective. First of all, I had nothing to love. I can't explain like how special this was compared to other shows. Like this is where what love is, right?
Okay.
However,
Okay.
there's a level of vulnerability and authenticity that needs to be met.
Are you saying we didn't hit it?
I'm not saying we didn't get it, we turned off the cameras.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. But all I'm gonna say is there were people looking at each other and they had things to say. And if they would have said those things and spoken those truths, it would have been off the chain.
Okay. I see.
I'm sorry to look at you so much, Dino.
Sorry for looking
Next episode.
All right. Well, cool. Look, everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. We're going. I need some like crazy music to be playing in the background, like some tribal shit. Yeah. Everybody's safe. Nobody got voted off today's episode of San Pluto Island, you know. But on the real though, I want to thank everybody who came through today. We had some last minute cancellations, and Joaquin filled in, Dino filled in. Thank you so much. The conversation probably was even doper than we probably would have had originally. So I really appreciate you guys. Again, everybody that's tuning in right now, ensure that you like and follow the VibePod Media Network. I keep adding that network piece, but VibePod Media on Facebook. I know, man. Hey, we're trying to have like a 24-hour deal here. So make sure to do that. Make sure to follow VibePod Media and San Pluto online. I want to thank everybody who came out today. Dino, Joaquin, Barbie, Melanie, thank you so much. Barbie Melody used to having like the crazier shows, but like I appreciate y'all rocking out with this thought-provoking conversation. Everybody that's tuning in, make some noise. Let's make some noise for y'all here, man. Great job today. Great effing show. I'm gonna tell you right now, we had fun. But y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all next week for San Pluto Island number 2. Is anybody gonna get voted off the island then? All right.